And so I just watched two Paramount horror films, that being Smile and Orphan First Kill. Um, so we're gonna talk about them, or I am gonna talk about them. So starting off with Smile, I want to say this for a while, because well, obviously the trailer and everyone said it was so good, and just the premise of it looked really intriguing. So I just didn't get around to it until now, since I uploaded or since I installed Paramount Plus. So that's the first film I watched on there since I added it back, and honestly, it was very chilling. Like the directing was really good. The performances were great. I thought. I really hope that the actress from the beginning finds more work because she was very believable. I totally bought into what she was going through. As is the star of the film, that was really great as well. I really hope they find more work. I don't see how they couldn't, but we'll see. Um, but the opening, like I already knew going in, like after the a few shots and the build up of tension and stuff, through that scene alone, the opening scene, like I knew this was gonna be a damn good film. Um, so aside from the performances, we also have Kyle Gallner, which I'm a huge fan of, from Hunting in Connecticut. Um, Just Before I Go, that has him in it, also directed by Courtney Cox. Um, I say that also because, well, they're both in Scream. Here's in the fifth film briefly. Um, and anyway, it was good seeing him back in a pretty big role because I haven't seen him in a lot like recently. Um, but anyway, uh, yeah, the tension was just there all throughout the film. Like there was a lot of atmosphere, and like again, the cast is really great, and I love the conflict between the characters, especially involving the main character's past. I thought that was really juicy and just really good confrontation for the two characters, and it was relatable too. So I mean, that was even better. Um, but this is actually an effective film, not just from the story. The dramatic parts of it were good. Um, but again, like just like when you have a great cast, great directing, great cinematography, also was great. Yeah, I keep saying great, but it is. Uh, for lack of better words. Um, but as far as the the only thing issue I had was the ending, because I thought like I felt like it was gonna live on a cliffhanger, like someone's gonna smile or something and leaving, starting a whole new chain reaction later on, and then cutting the credits. But instead of it leaving, having the last scene be a smile, obviously, like instead of showing her burning and everything, spoilers. Uh, yeah. Well, spoilers, but I mean it's been out for a while, so yeah. Um, Instead of showing everything, I would have just had her turn around, like a silhouette of her in the darkness, and then when she lights the match, you see her smiling, because I think that would have been a better ending. Because you already know what's gonna happen. You don't have to show everything, you know. But they did, and I thought it was kind of a little too much. Um, but the effects were good. Another scene I didn't care for was the dream sequence where she's, spoiler, stabbing this guy and the doctor peels off his face. I'm like, that's a bit much and kind of comical, honestly. Um, because up until that point and after, like it's fine, like it's really good. Um, but it was funny. I was watching it with my friend, And I was like, I like that actor. And he's like, which one? I'm like, the one with the mustache. Talking about, and both the cops in that scene I was referring to had mustaches. I was like, uh, the white one. And not only that, it was funny because like the cat's name and ironically ended up being a mustache. I'm like, oh, wow. Um, but anyway, yeah, I love the film. I'm probably gonna end up buying it, honestly. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on Smile. Well, let me add also this. I also like the independent feel to it. Like it wasn't independent, but I liked how it was like it was simple enough to where they didn't have to have a bunch of effects or everything, and maybe up until the end. But which they maybe could have been more subtle with that too. But I see why they did it. They had to have some big ol' ending, you know. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts for Smile. As far as Orphan First Kill, I was not excited for this from the get go, honestly, because it was way too late for a sequel. Um, and especially the actress Isabel Furlini or whatever her name is. So obviously she's grown now, like in her 20s, and they should have done this shortly after the first one. But, and I knew it was going to be distracting with the CGI, and even though they used clever camera angles, I respected that. But, um, yeah, as far as the movie, there's a different director. It wasn't too like different in style, really. I thought it had a good uh, consistency. Um, but it was really boring, honestly. The first half and the middle half, the twist was revealed basically, and it started getting interesting. But by that time, the movie's over, really. So it's like, was it really worth it making that movie? Um, I mean, the cast was good. I really did like the twist. That was interesting. Like I said, like it picked up then. About the time it was too late, and then the whole fighting at the end. I thought could have been a little more. Obviously, like the movie could have been longer, if they're gonna have it uh pick up that late. Mainly because the first one is about at least 2 hours. I'm pretty sure. And it's a slower burn, honestly. Like it's, not much uh killings in it. There's it builds up slower, which I like. And is what this movie is kind of missing is that slower burn. It's very just more in your face, more self aware in a way. But as far as that whole ending with the rooftop scene, it was just very bad background effects. Honestly, it was very distracting. The whole fall catch me or it's her. It's where they're trying to prove who's more worthy of being saved. That was obviously a callback to The Good Son, and it was a little too obvious and just unoriginal as far as that goes. And the well, obviously they're gonna die, so this isn't really a spoiler right here. Um, the mother's death was very underwhelming. It happened a little too soon. It could have been done differently. And since in the first one it says that they died in a house fire, they technically weren't in the house, but whatever. Um, yeah, I just like the death of the son as well. I thought was a little too soon. Like I want a little more chasing with him or something, or a little more struggle. Um, and again, the CGI it was very distracting because she still looks 20 years old. She don't look like no damn kid, aside from her size that they've done, which I thought they did well. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't think it was worthy of making the whole film. Really, he could have taken this story, really, like the lost daughter, whole storyline with the mom backstory, her playing the part. You know, I thought that could have been done in a different film altogether and just done with that. Honestly, but would have served better, I think. But then again, it has a lot of fans of this movie. Surprisingly, I was really surprised, you know. But I mean, they do. I'm not one of them. I love the first one, um, and that one deserves all the fan base it can get. Uh, but this one, I think it does have uh, it's an acquired taste. I think, um, and I think obviously when it gets older, it's gonna look more dated because it is already with the, like I said, the CGI and all. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts for Smile and Orphan First Kill. So yeah, thanks for listening.